but it's not clear that that means anything except additional sanctions. I say we are left with a political option, and that political option is to focus on the Iranian people, and that would mean to delist the Mujahideen-ul-Haq. I don't know where that stands. Maybe the judge can elaborate on that during his presentation. But as far as I'm concerned, we need a political option to go with the economic option of sanctions. And the two things fit well together. Judge Mukasey?
Thank you very much, Professor Tanter. I want to thank Professor Tanter and the Iranian Policy Committee for inviting me here. You know, back when I was in high school, one of the favorite questions of history teachers was to ask students to write an essay distinguishing the basic causes and the immediate causes of some historical event. And so you would be asked, what was the basic cause of World War I and what was the immediate cause? And the immediate cause, of course, was the assassination of the Archduke at Sarajevo, and then you would go into the basic causes. I guess the immediate cause of our being here today is the latest Iranian plot to commit terrorism. But it's not the basic cause. The basic cause is that there is in place in Tehran a regime that's irretrievably evil. And that has some legal implications. I would suggest to you that the legal implications are not necessarily the most important, but they are significant. First of all, so far as the act itself that we're talking about, this is one of the most basic offenses known to man. The Constitution of the United States gives Congress the power to make laws with respect, among other things, to the law of nations. The law of nations barred, at the time the Constitution was written, basically two things. One was piracy, and the other was attacks on diplomats. Those were the two basic strictures, the two forbidden areas that were defined by the law of nations. And Iran obviously has not hesitated to cross that line. I would suggest to you that so far as the Iranian government has taken against the United States, people have speculated on whether this is an act of war against the United States. I don't know whether it is or not, whether it's an act of war against the United States because it was going to be committed on U.S. territory, or whether it was an act of war against Saudi Arabia because Ambassador Jubeir was the target. But regardless of whether it was or wasn't an act of war against the United States, even if it was, it would be only the latest in a series of acts. You can begin with the Khobar Towers. Just take the last 15 years. You can begin with the Khobar Towers bombing that killed more than a dozen